What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the 100th installment of Get It Off Your Chest. My name is Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Guess you guys get this 100th episode because I didn't think it was going to come today. I didn't think I was going to do it today. But last night, something happened after the show, and that kind of rearranged my plans. I was not too happy about it. Hear me clearly. I was not too happy about it. But we are here. So I want to take this moment to say thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. On your way in, ladies and gentlemen, if you want more content like this, do me a favor, subscribe, share to a friend. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. My Cash App, I'm using the new StreamYard feature on the top left-hand corner. The Cash App is right there. I tested it. I say, all right, there's a duck in the center of this. What is this doing? But it actually set you to where it needed to go to. So I appreciate that. Cash App is in the top left. One roll to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. And let me scroll this across the board. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Let's keep it 100. Get it off your chest. Episode 100. And hey, real quick, I like the Roman numerals thing that I've been doing. It's like, after let me just be different. And they're like, C. What's the C? Keep it a C note, $100 bill. Or just keep it a C. Keep it 100. This is my 100th installment to get it off your chest, ladies and gentlemen. So the question is, what will we be doing today for this time period? Oh, 1 second. One second. Ain't this up? As y'all can see, I got a new toy and I'm just testing it out. Jeez Louise. Actually, not a new toy. I just found it using one of my old devices that I've been had. Um, which reminds me, let me turn this on so I don't get no phone calls. I don't mind getting notifications. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in. What are we talking about today? First of all, I want to take a moment again to thank people who have been supporting the channel with the subscriptions, with watching my content, especially the stories. I have more shorts that I have to post. And giving that I did my show yesterday, I have clips and shorts that I need to post. Not going to get to any of those today, I can assure you. I have plenty of time to do that when I'm at work tomorrow. But tonight, after this, I'm going to sleep because I'm going to wake up tonight and get into some late night shenanigans. And then tomorrow is work day. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in and for the support. So, one thing we're going. Okay. I kind of. And as Kevin said, build it as we fly. Let's just do this right here until. So today, one thing we are going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is I've done this before, and we're going to do it again today. When it comes to get it off your chest, what has inspired me to do 100 of these editions? Mostly it's things that I come across in real life or online, and I had opportunity to voice my opinion about it, uninterrupted and unfiltered. And a portion of that came from Clubhouse, to be honest. Matter of fact, sorry, we got somebody in the chat. Miss Hernandez, good evening. Good afternoon. Excuse me. Hopefully you're in school. But uh, that's what inspired all portion of my get it off my chest. It's some of the stupid stuff that we have heard in Clubhouse, and a lot of people find it unimaginable that some of these things, these points, are coming from a place like Clubhouse. I don't know why they think that. Excuse me. Let's do this. There we go. Uh, Perfect. There we go. So a lot of people find it unimaginable that some of these points are coming from a place like Clubhouse. Now, here's the thing: I put the source in of where all this information is coming from, so that way people can see this is the source. And with that, I'll respond to the if it's based off of the title. Usually, I will respond to the title first, give my take on that. Then I will get into what in that conversation inspired me to come on YouTube for like 20 minutes and knock something out. So today, let's give you guys a look of the conversations that I've been engaging in Clubhouse and how just to show you guys a different type of world that I occasionally partake in. Um, Now that we're on this side of the screen, let me actually do this. Okay. I don't want a block style or even this. No, let's keep it like this. Okay, good. Now, let's get into one room. I got invited into a room already. Shout out to Glock. The title of this room is How Long Should You Date Before Moving In? Matter of fact, let me type in that title. How long all right. All right, there we go. We're not gonna do that for 10 seconds. All right. So there is the title. How long should you date before moving in? So should I give my take on this now or wait till we get inside the room? You know what? Let's. I think I have my own take on this, but let's get inside the room real quick. Let's see what this is about. Let me turn the volume up, and let's go. I ain't never put it on, dude. That shit's still in the little drawer. Shout out to Thinking Out Loud. Did bought me that shit. I was like, Perry, you see all the other shit I got in my shit. But then I got fucking Versace, Gucci, shit like that. This bitch gonna bring some goddamn curve. Man, if y'all know anything about layering the cheap stuff with the expensive stuff does help bring out the scent of the expensive stuff sometimes. So just wanted to put that out there. Hey, you know what? I found that you can't. I found that it ain't good to like layer expensive with expensive because them shit like it's like one of them. Now also keep in mind, like every now and then they may drift away from the title and talk about something else. So right now I'm just trying to get a feel for the room to see where they're in. But we will visit other rooms. That's the cream. Better not mix like and I'm just naming a popular cologne. Chill out. You better not mix it. Well, shout out to Beauty. Like you trying to sell watermelons. Not all the cream, not all the curves smell bad. That's why it's got so many of them. Man. So we smelling like somebody granddaddy uncle. Not all of the curves smell bad. Y'all gotta stop y'all shit. If you smell a nigga wearing curves and something else on my mama, I bet he say billfold instead of walker. Let that nigga say billfold. Pat me that billfold right there. Yeah, it's more than one. I mean, shit, somebody have got a billfold. You know, that's different. Man. They got that blue bottle. I think they came out with a blue bottle. That curve shit. Oh, and cool water. Cool water. David Hasselhoff cool water. That's a natural mosquito repellent. Mosquitoes hate it. I didn't know that. Damn. What? Yeah. This bitch strutting off, nigga. Oh, my mama. But this ain't no cologne. You're nobody. Have an excellent night. I'm crying. It's certain, I think Elizabeth, I mean, obviously, the one of us wear this white diamond. I was going to say something, but I see your pictures. Insect repellent, if I'm not mistaken. It's one. Let's just say the rebuttal I had in mind. I would hate for you to test me because nor do I want your lips anywhere on my anatomy. They do. I know. Pretty sure you got some cousins you can do that too. By the way. Hell no, Versace. They don't have the Versace in there. You gotta go to the Versace first. One of them Versace's, it was Versace and CVS. One of them Versace bottles, man. My aunt fought me. All right, they're not saying too much of anything. They talking about cologne at this point. Let's check out another room. Why do women have poor discernment with men? I know he's so rude. You just come back in. You come back in later. Hold on, I'm just trying to create a queue. So let us know when you're ready to talk. So it's gonna go Corey. No problem. We're gonna go Corey, Trey, Brandon. Chiffon just left. Is Chiffon leave? Chiffon left. Okay, and then we'll go Harriet. Shut up, Cap. We'll go Harriet, and whenever Chiffon comes back, she could jump in. Go ahead, Corey. Can I finish what I was saying before? Absolutely, sir. This is crazy. Go ahead, Josh. This is crazy. It'll be like, who was next? Corey was next. Yeah, after you was Corey, right. And then Trey. Okay, I'll take my time. I know you still pushing us though. I'll take my time. Man, see, this is crazy, bro. No, but it'll be short. It'll be short like Corey. All I want to say was the women, Diego, would love for you to believe that these people match. They would love for. Okay, they're not saying too much of anything either. But let's go to the last one. Why? How long should you move in? How long should you be dating before you move in? The answer is it doesn't matter how long you should be dating because you shouldn't predicate that based off of if you're going to move in or not. You shouldn't. Because dating is there's nothing to dating at all. It's nothing substantiating about that time period that determines whether somebody's going to move in with you or whether you're going to pursue another form of long-term relationship with anybody. That's not a good measuring stick. Matter of fact, I implore people don't judge your dating period on if this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I'll tell you this, for at least I'll speak for the men, we don't need more than 6 months. See, dating takes about a week or two. To really dig in and think about if this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, we need at least 6 months. We need no more than 6 months. No more than 6 months. Because by then, more times than not, when it comes to actors or waiting somebody out, no one's that good of an actor. Like, it is a slim chance you're gonna come across somebody who is as good as an actress to pretend to be something that they're not, and you don't notice the signs. For men, it don't take no more than 6 months to figure that out. Whether you're actually in a relationship with somebody, or honestly just somebody that is within the frame stage, which is something I said on Clubhouse yesterday. It's like if you're telling men not to invest in a stepmother, and I counter that point by saying the same thing could go against. I'm sorry. If you let me rephrase that. If you're telling men not to invest into another man's child to be the stepfather, I can say the same thing to investing into a woman who has no child, because you're all the benefits you could have got, you're wasting it investing on somebody. Whether they have a child or not is irrelevant. And they say, and someone said, well, you got to get to bed. We have to find a way to get to know these women better. I'll say, if that's the case, what's wrong with being friends? They said, there's nothing wrong. I know. Trust me, I know. See, if you get to know somebody and know who they are inside and out, you get the answers you need. Like, I have plenty of female friends in the past who I never date, dated, got in a relationship with, or even touched. I knew from the time period that we would hang around with each other whether this is somebody I could spend the rest of my life with. I didn't have to be in a relationship to know that. Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't have to be in a boyfriend girlfriend stage to understand that. I already knew. I already knew just based off of what they say, how they conduct themselves. I'm like, no, or yeah, I can actually see it, or no, it can't. It can't happen. So, do you need? How long do you need to be dating somebody for them to move in? Honestly, there's no timetable, because you shouldn't predicate whether somebody's moving in with you based off of the stages of dating. That's the answer. Matter of fact, that's the right answer. I'll keep it real with y'all. Now, this current room that we're in, we're gonna listen to some of the submissions that people have put in this conversation. Now, the question is, all right. So the question is, why do women have poor discernment with men? Why do women have poor discernment with men? Obviously, we can't speak in absolutes. To the women who did not get the results that they're looking for, you have to then determine how poor, if the discernment was poor. You got to understand, what are they looking for, what outcomes are they seeking, and if that's something that they achieve. And they achieve what they, if they got what they got out of that situation, it can't be, I can't say it's poor discernment, because everything they wanted they got. For however long they wanted to obtain their accomplishments, they received it. And you can't go, honestly, you can't judge everybody on a one size fits all. This is one thing I told Edelman last night when we had that conversation on my channel. You cannot hold, I told him, I cannot hold somebody to the same standards to my standards, especially that's something that they're not seeking. Like, Chris, I know what you believe in, and I know what your idea of a wife is. It's just that based off of the foundations, we are on two separate pages, and that's just not my, that's, I'm not looking for that, and that's fair. Because I also asked Ethan, man, because if marriage is a standard, then if you don't achieve it, is that a failure? He said, no, that's not a failure. I know. So the question is, when it comes to discernment in black men, what are black, you got to ask black women exactly what are they looking for in a black man, and based off of their history, excuse me, have they achieved what they're looking for? Believe it or not, the answer might be yes, more times than not. And also keep in mind, if there's a specific question that you want to ask them directly. So you have to ask black women, are you looking to find somebody to spend the rest of your lives with together, or the vast majority of your lives together, regarding to death do us part? So you got to ask them the right question, because you believe it or not, some people are saying no, that's not what I'm looking for, because they feel like it's unlogical, it's illogical, and it's unrealistic. Now, do I believe it's illogical and unrealistic? No, but one thing I do is respect people's prerogative and their choices that they have governed over their lives. So obviously, the question is based off of the foundation of this question. How can you quantify that black women have poor discernment when it comes to black men?
Other nigga could be doing the same thing, but just because ain't no women on the stage mentioning that guy's that guy, he's not gonna be that guy. But as soon as a guy get up here and all the women make it known that guy's that guy, he's gonna be able to have his pick. He's gonna be able to do his thing. That's just how it is. Y'all want what everything, y'all want what everybody else like. That's just how y'all are. Like y'all like what everybody likes. And that's just the nature of it. That's just the nature of it. You find your woman for like the fellas.
Let's stop right there. So this gentleman just stated when it comes to men, excuse me, when it comes to women looking for men, one thing is that uh, they like, how can I say this? Because I know exactly where he's going there based off of what he said. Pretty much women want what someone already has, basically. That's what he's saying. If another woman have it, they want it. That's similar to the saying that there's no women don't want uh, a man that other women don't want. That's ultimately what he's saying. Now, I would like to find out why. If anybody can answer that question, matter of fact, let's see. Oh, all right, there we go. Yeah, I would like to know to who can ever answer this. When it comes to finding a man, why do women find what's what I'm looking for? What is it about another woman's property you want? What is it about another woman's belonging that you desire for? What is it about another woman's man that you need? I would honestly like to know the answer to the question. I'm not saying, believe it or not, I'm not here to say it's wrong. I am not. I am not saying that, because that's gonna come off. Now, hood niggas don't even mean hood nigga no more.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed that too. I've noticed that too. This kind of moving target.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something I've noticed too. Just listening, just being a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So now
I've noticed that too. But I did want to ask a question.
No, so now hood means nothing now. Even
So
though.
That's something that kind of bothered me. But I did want to ask a question.
Able to work with it at the beginning, but as you start hearing women talk, now hood don't even mean nothing no more. Hood don't mean X thing or X. Yeah, they changed the definition of hood to make it seem I'm not gonna say obsolete, but it's saying there's no meaning, there's not enough meaning to it to what it used to mean. So it's a justification for if a woman does go to school.
Yeah, I see that too.
If a woman goes to school, get her doctorate degrees and master's degrees, the fact that she can fall in love with somebody from the hood is not the same thing. It's like who you gaslighting at this point.
Brought it up, and I thought it was a really interesting point. She made the distinction between most black women are single legally. That's true. She made the distinction, however. She made the distinction between the happily single Black women and the unhappily single Black women, which I accept. I accept it is possible to be a Black woman single today and happy. You're not, not stressed out, not pressed, lonely and desperate and, and all that, hard up for some D. I agree that that's certainly possible. I accept that. Here's the question, though. Now, I wish she was here because I would really like to get her thoughts on this. So, while I accept the premise in the abstract and can accept it in reality, I can't. I don't really accept it in practice, and here's why. So I mentioned earlier that there is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar business that I call, in my books, the machine. Others call it the Black love industry, whatever you want to call it. That essentially, even now, essentially caters to Black women, their romantic and sexual interests, desires, aims, goals, anxieties, fears, etc. My question is this: if there are Black, and to be fair, Siobhan didn't put a number on it, to be fair to her. But I have heard other Black women attempt to suggest that there is a plurality of happily single Black women. Not Siobhan, talking about these other Black women, unnamed Black women online. Okay, if that's true, then how do you explain Ace Metaphors tonight's conversation tour? Here we have a man that for the past 6 years has toured the country. Typically, a tour is about 12 to 13, maybe a baker's dozen stops in America from coast to coast, including Toronto, Canada, wherein the average tour stop is anywhere between 500 to 5,000, virtually 90% Black women. And he's been doing this for 6 years. Not even Universal Circus travels to that extent. And I know because I love the circus. I go to Universal Circus every chance I get.
Oh my God, me too.
Oh yeah, I love the circus. Love Universal Circus. I love it.
Have you seen Cirque du Soleil stuff?
Not the
I'm
Cirque
gonna
du
go one
Soleil
day. I'm
stuff, but I
thinking
have
of
gone to Universal Circus. And not even they put up those kind of numbers. I know, like I said, I've been to quite a few. So if there are, and again, Siobhan didn't say it, so I'm not putting it on her. But if there is a notion that there's this, plurality of happily single Black women, how do you explain tonight's conversation?
Well, the thing is, tonight's conversation isn't owned by Ace. It's owned by another company that pays him and other speakers to do what we do here, which is host conversations and talk about relationship dynamics. So, like, to say how is he doing it, he's not doing a damn thing but getting paid to go on tour that the company is paying him to go on. And also, it's not just him on the stage. There are women and men who participate in this conversation. They also bring in guest speakers and other things to have multiple topics. So trying to make this thing about him might say more about your issue with him than the actual event itself.
But I also would like to add that.
But that's irrelevant, though.
So I'm not responding as if it was towards me. But we.
Hold on, Siobhan. I'm gonna turn that down. See, here's my problem with these conversations, because that tidbit information had nothing to do with his question that he asked. All he said, because whether it was his event or whether somebody else is sponsoring it, the question on the floor still stands. I'm not saying what he's saying is 100% accurate. I'm not saying that. Although if he was to substantiate his point, he could probably prove himself to be right. All he was asking is, if single Black women are as happy as they can be, explain tonight's conversation. And it's not like tonight's conversation travels to one place; they travel literally everywhere, and the presence online, and the following shows that there's a lot of people.
Oh, because it's not my thing. Me and my old lady don't want to go sit around and watch that. I know multiple people who've been to multiple other stops, have paid for the meet and greet passes, have met Mace Etafor, took pictures with him, have met the other guys when they had the drama with the cast, when it came time to re-up their payments and see who's gonna get paid what. I've seen the interviews and the podcasts about it. Like, I'm very familiar with the work. So for you to sit here and say that 90% of the people at the show are women is false, for you to say that the black women being happy and being single is a direct reflect on why this is a successful podcast is false. Like, I don't get why you're trying to put this off on this whole, like, even you saying this is Ace Metaphor's tour isn't right. So it's like, that's why I'm trying to confuse it. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with women's discernment or them choosing happiness in their single? And when they're single, like, even when black men come, hold on. I know you quick to it. But what I'm saying is, when black men are happy and single, you don't have the same axe to burn.
No, I don't.
So what's really going on?
Okay, so what's really going on here, and I'm glad that we're getting to it at Hank. I don't have the axe to burn because there is no black male equivalent. That's why. There is no black male equivalent in the black love machine, something I've studied for years. Boots on the ground, research, interviews, the whole shot. There is no black male equivalent. If there were, I'd be looking at that too, but there isn't. That's number one. Number two, I've attended 4 events from the fall of 2021 to the fall of 2023, and I interviewed Ace Metaphor for nearly 3 hours straight. Letitia Underwood is my witness. So I've done a lot of research on this. When I make the statements that I do, it's not because I'm doing it from an armchair or secondhand knowledge or accounts. I did it what they call in the military human intelligence. I actually was there, okay? And what I'm asking was based on the statement Stefan made earlier, and we just got finished coming back around to it. And I do agree with her. It is possible to be a black woman single and happy. I agree. All I simply asked was, she didn't say it, but I've heard other black women say, the way they frame it, she didn't say it, but the way they frame it as if that these women are a plurality. That's the way they frame it, right? And my question, not to her, but my question was, if that was true, then how do you explain something like tonight's conversation, which I've been to 4 times? I'm sorry. Every time that I've been there, it's undeniably black women, 90% with a smattering of black men. And I mean, I'm being generous when I say 10%. I'm being generous. Yeah.
Okay, so well, one, Mamiya, you don't know their demographic at all the shows. That might have been how it was when you went to the shows you went to. 2, because I know the show in Memphis wasn't like that, nor was the show in Atlanta. 2,
But you wasn't there, so what are you talking about?
This man and still
black. And I was there with that Father Michigan.
Shout out to you. But you
this is my problem. People just be talking. You don't know you yourself don't know what you're talking about, but you want to call somebody out. What kind of shit is that?
So that's why it's like,
I don't know that. Everything I know is, from what I know, that's his baby.
I really think that if you think that based upon your interviews, no offense, maybe you should ask better questions. Because he's saying, brother, I never interrupted you. I never did. Just give me 1 second, I'll let you go. The reality is he's done interviews talking about how he was doing negotiations with the parent company and how things were going and how he didn't mind taking the shorts the first time, but he knew that because of the impact he was, because of how big he became, that they were going to have to do better at the negotiating table with him and other members of the cast, and how they didn't stick together for negotiations, and it kind of left him out there on his own. These are things that he said on public podcasts about himself. So that's why I'm saying you might have asked the wrong questions in reference to his ownership, or what you thought was his ownership of this podcast. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing just is readily available on the internet. There's no need to do the research. And the thing about it is this. What do you think the Black Manosphere is? Because I understand what your scope of it is from being a participant and you two asses.
You don't give a fuck. I rock with Diego. That's I would say I'll be like no Diego slander for the simple fact that it may cost you your life. Like she will drag you for filth. She will pack you up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So yeah, I exit out there because I don't want them to start going details in one's personal life. When you out here doing God's work, and actually let me speak to that because this kind of goes into yesterday's conversation. Um, when it comes to you doing what I call the Lord's work, or what you call you essentially you're doing the right thing out here, people will find some things about you to use against you because you have adversaries out here that are here to attack you, here to discredit you in some type of way, shape, or form. So that's why when Edomel was asking me, was assuming things about me yesterday, which I have zero problems. There will be no email slander on the BTSI show. I'm letting that be known right now. That's my guy. He will be respected at all times. But when it came to, because when email was asking about, you have to let people know who your wife is or something to that nature. And I'm like, no. Now he brought up the story of Abraham and Sarah, how Abraham told Sarah to go to not let everybody know that they are married for the sake of. I'll let you guys go read that chapter before I because it's vaguely coming to me, and I don't want to give out misinformation based off of the book of Genesis, especially the book of Genesis. But he didn't inform the people that Sarah was his wife. God essentially had to come to him in a dream, be like, "You sleep with her." And like I tell people, y'all really want to know how gangster God is? Go read the first 5 books of the Old Testament and stop thinking he pussy. So that's how E-Man came to that stance. You have to let people know who your wife is, this, that, and the third. But also keep in mind, as a man, if I'm in charge protecting said wife and family, that's what I'm going to do. And matter of fact, I take it beyond that. I protect people in my circle as well. Like right now, I just cut off. I just exit out of that room because if they're about to go in one's private life, I'm not going to put that here on YouTube. Not them. I love those ladies way too much. And matter of fact, so much so that I'm going to be clipping some of this stream down to minimum size. And if anything, you're just going to get a bunch of my takes. So, with that being stated, um, if you're in charge of protecting somebody, protect them. Protect them. Especially if you are in a pit stuck with nothing but wolves and snakes. You have to protect what's yours. There's a reason why certain individuals in this space, well, why most people in this space have not dived in too much into their personal lives, and it's for obvious reasons because you're not about to attack my family or have a comment about my family if I had something to do about it. Because it's bad enough you're not keeping it on me or you're attacking me. You're actually addressing someone that does not need to be addressed. So that's why I believe in protecting what's yours, protecting people in your crew. And that's why that was my response for email yesterday. Like I don't have to, no one has to answer that or declare who's who. Nobody has to do that. Especially if we because at sometimes you have to use common sense and some form of wisdom. You see who's here and you see how this goes. So the fact that you know this and you had the opportunity to prevent it from amplifying, why not do it? Because truth be told, like I get what E was saying, But you also have to respect the fact that if somebody says, I'm not answering that, or I'm not gonna conform to that request, you have to respect it. You absolutely 100% have to respect people's decision, because if that's their way of protecting what's theirs, you got to let them do what they got to do. Because he said you have to publicly announce who you're in a relationship with. Well, I would say this: if they've done that already, what makes you say they have to do it over and over and over and over and over again? You're just asking. I'm just being logical right now, asking the right questions. If a public declaration was already made, then guess what? A public declaration is already made. So that's why I told Edelman when we was having that conversation, I said, "Hey, bro, I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube right now. The one that I exclusively put out. Not to say that, not even counting clips or conversations that is pertaining to me. You feel what I'm saying? So ultimately, what I'm saying is the public declaration that you're looking for is already out there. You have to just go find it. That's how you protect you and yours. See, I got 1,000 clips. I already got 1,000 videos. So all I'm gonna that's what I say is good luck. You'll need it. Good luck. You will need it. Proverbs 13:25. Open discussion. Proverbs 13:25. Hold on. I'm gonna actually pull up for that one. What's Proverbs 13:25? Okay, on NIV version, Proverbs 13:25. The righteous eats to their heart's content, but the stomach of the wicked goes hungry. Do I want to engage in that conversation? Oh no. Do I want to engage in that conversation? Because all it's saying is good people will always eat and the wicked is gonna go hungry. Which I agree. It could be the literal form, it could be the metaphorical form. Yeah, good people will always be full. Wicked people is always going to be looking for the next meal. I agree. I'm walking testament to that. I have seen both sides of that. And to that, that is very much true. Ladies and gentlemen, that is very much true. What did they get at? Let me see this. What y'all want?
They decided they didn't want to go to college, like live on campus, but they're in a relationship with someone. And they come to you and say, Mom, Dad, we love each other. We want to get our own place together. As a parent, how would you navigate that? Okay, yeah, because I was gonna have him give his input.
Basically, guys, it's a maturity level and a financial level for the 18-year-old man. It's all on the man. The woman, she gonna just y'all play our role. It's all on the man. He gotta have immaturity level. Got to be up.
Oh, we don't have rules as men. We don't have rules.
I'm about to say at this.
No, I'm saying like she play her role as like just being a woman. We are providers. You get what I'm saying? As an 18-year-old man, I'm winning all over again. I'm being a
Let
provider.
them land, please, and thank you.
Stop trying to argue with him.
Ben,
Well, yeah, no, because you 4 years old trying to go back and forth with me on saying I'm 18-year-old provider and my woman's just playing her role on being hurt. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about that, young man. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Good job, baby. You're doing right. You're doing right. And what you said was really a stand up type of response. Because you got grown men that don't understand that they should step up and take care of their woman. And so for you to have the mindset at 18, like it's really about the maturity and the financial aspect that kind of sets the tone for it. I'm with you. Yep, I will. I'm with you 1000%. I love you, and I'll see you later. I'm good, me, because for your
A while ago. Well, yeah, let him finish talking, bro. Shut the fuck up.
No, but he said nothing. Why are you guys letting him get away with saying
First of all, 10, if you would have paid attention, that was her son that came to the mic. So if you could please be a little bit more respectful.
All right, well, you have to tell your son.
Thank you.
Doesn't make sense. He called men provider and called women women. What is it? So as I'm a man. She's a woman is a woman. What are you talking about? I'm a provider. I'm a man.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna sit you on your pockets. Be a man down.
Yeah, this is FBA business, brother. Respect. FBA.
The mission, Ebony. Tell him we said thank you. We respect it. Sorry to cut you off, Uncle Caleb, but you got it.
I was just letting you know this is FBA business. And he's stepping his nose in his business is somebody else's business. This is our business. We're talking about FBA. That's what I was trying to say.
But what you guys are talking about is not exclusive to FBA.
Yeah, I think on another note too, I think that my son is still, he's absolutely right. It still goes back to a level of maturity and experience with people. I think that sometimes you meet people young, you experience things young, and you get to a space where you know what you want in life. Sometimes it happens young, sometimes it happens a little older. No two people are ever on the same page, but somewhere, some kind of way, there's always a balance with maturity. And so I think that with maturity and experience, meaning it's certain things that you have to kind of have let go of to be able to have forward movement in relationships. So you can't be connected to your past. You have to be willing to understand growth and development. You have to have that compassion, that empathy for each other. That's the male and the female.
All right, we're gonna leave that room because that again, they're not.
Yeah. So vampires, they just out here stealing energy.
Yeah, they're not saying too much of anything in that room either. So watch out about me back. I would never know. All right, we are actually going to try one more room, and we're gonna call it a quits. But I will tell you, when I'm not, when I'm not around, ladies and gentlemen, I'm usually just working, to which I'm gonna be doing a lot anyway. Hold on, just gotta go downstairs. Damn it.
The reason why I am so independent, the reason why I am so strong-willed, like I've been through things to get me here, and
Oh, this is a good
within
title.
myself, I have to accept that and appreciate that. And a lot of times, even within ourselves, we can't accept. You had to go through what you went through so that you can get through it and not go through it again. I always say, it's that saying, the old saying, what don't kill you make you stronger. Some things just make you stronger for a reason. You know what I mean? You had to experience those things so you can say, you know what, never again. A lot of people who don't realize that and they don't appreciate those things, and we don't appreciate the struggle that people go through, even in relationships. The struggles you go through in the relationship to make you either better in that relationship or to learn for yourself what you want or need in a relationship.
And you're learning multiple things. Okay.
Go ahead, Stacey. Ladies first.
No, I'm so sorry.
I'll make one.
Y'all listen
I'll make
tonight.
one live contribution to the stage,
And
and
it's
we're gonna
crazy because it's like I was sitting with me for a
slowly shut
hieroglyphic
down.
last night or the past couple of days. Um, and it's like that's that part. But to even take it a step further, net, right? It's realizing that you don't need any outside validation. When you get to the point where you are in relationship, right? Because you're learning different things, even within the span of a relationship or a connection. You're learning how to deal with me. I'm learning how to deal with you. I'm learning how to deal with me. You're learning how to deal with you. Plus the family trauma, if there's any, plus the relationship stuff. There's so much to it. And we're sitting here sometimes from our own level of understanding, talking at a being, not willing to give that grace, seeking that outside acceptance and validation. Oh, I know you look at me different because I told you that my family life looked like this. Oh, that person didn't say that. That person's holding you. But you're not comfortable in your truth yet. So now it's that person's fault. So it's getting to that point where you're okay. And I say that to my girlfriends all the time. I've had to look at one of my girlfriends like, you crying to me, talking about how he's always putting you last. But look at where you place you in your life. And everybody that's in front of you sees that. Your kids see that. Your husband sees that. And he actually tries to place you first because of that. And he's a decent person. He's a decent person because he sees the need and he's trying to fill it. But it's not good enough because he can't do that for you. So I see that oftentimes where it's like you're trying to seek, because we're taught to look outside of ourselves for our other half, and that's when we become complete. But we fight, and bump our heads to realize, like, nah, these people can't fix us. This is a me problem. I got the codependency issues. This man's not being distant. He's just in his office doing his work. Yeah. So and not even a personal thing, but I'm just using scenarios that I've seen where it's like you're learning all of these things in all aspects, but it's so easy to look out and say, all right, it's this person's fault and what this person's doing. But do we hear ourselves when we're conversing? Do we know what we look like when we shut down and we give off those social cues that we're not ready to communicate?
That's why when Jay was talking about the different, he said fault, right? But I feel like people learn from fault, Jay. Like personally, I feel like people learn from fault, man. I don't know what it is about that word, but nobody wants to be at fault, right? So what I've learned to do is let people know to identify their part. Because see, people can identify their part, whether their part was, well, I did go over to the nigga house or I did allow it. I did whatever. Just identify your part because that's the same thing. Is just what part did you play in this cycle of experience? And I think if we can just focus on that, so much shift and change can happen from what we do experience. It's just like when we victimize ourselves and make it seem as if there was no other way but to experience what we experienced, it leaves us a victim in the next experience. And we don't need to be that. We need to be able to say, you know what? Okay. What about them? What about me had me fucked up? It's like I remember when I first started like dating, I used to hear women say all the time, or girls would say, I must have super written across my forehead. And it's like, well, no, you don't have super written across your forehead, but when someone just said in the room, you have, I don't prioritize myself written across your forehead. You don't put yourself first. And that's what you showed me. And now you're begging me to do something you don't do for yourself. But why would I do that when you're familiar with this? And in fact, if I do what you're familiar with, you'll probably connect with me more because that's what you're already expecting. And so again, it's like when we think about these premeditated thoughts of like, oh, they probably gonna do this, they probably gonna do that. We have to remember that we're contributing to that.
Let me turn that down real quick because I'm gonna try to get in here, but they have to reset the room.
perception of white people
you don't put yourself first
impacted her ability to do
based off
business.
of your outcomes and how you handle yourself.
You know, it's very, you know,
It's because there's some things you want me to do in this relationship, but you're not doing that for yourself. So why do you think I'm going to do it? For example, back when everybody was on this Hermes twin, this Hermes trend of oh, I got me an Hermes or whatever, and women saying, oh no, he needs to buy you a Hermes. He needs to buy you a bag. And women are asking men to buy them this bag. And my response to them is, to whom this applies to, why are you asking me to do something that you have not done for yourself? What about me makes you think that it's okay for you to ask for these astronomical things that you do not experience on the regular? It's one thing if this is what you buy for yourself, then I will understand. But then again, I would say, why are you with me if that's what you're expecting out of me? It's like, congratulations, you're really playing yourself. If I don't do that for myself, why am I doing that for you? And you don't do that for yourself, why are you expecting other people to do that for you? If you're going to put yourself first and start getting all. And since it's just you, not only do you get the hard work, but you get to reap the benefits since it's just you. Do that. And because once you start doing that for yourself, you'll start to realize who can be with you based off of the investments that you put into yourself. That's how that game works. So yeah, I'm gonna try to jump in here. Then we can go.
How I constructed relationships. You know, it's just so much internal viewing that is necessary to unlock and free people from this cycle of reoccurring situations.
I think there's a couple things you said, right? One, I would tell people I kind of push back on the whole you are what you're like you're attracting certain things. I don't think that. I don't think the way um the laws of the universe, that's how it works. Like everything, and I sit there and I thought about that and I was like, you know what? Opposites attract. Magnets attract the opposite, right? Like everything in the world is a yin and a yang. So you could be a good person and attract bad people. And that's not your fault. What you accept is your fault. And I think that in that case, a lot of times that's where we have to give grace and understanding. The grace is you can't be mad at yourself for attracting someone that's bad. You can be mad at yourself for accepting that bad behavior.
That I will agree with.
Your part comes in because it's like, well, why did you feel like you needed that, you deserved that? You saw whatever you saw and you kept going with it. That I believe is a problem. I think we don't give ourselves grace as people at all. Grace to understanding that you are every day learning you. Every day is a new situation you go through, right? But then every day you're learning how to be in relationship with multiple different people. So one, learning myself could be complicated in itself, right? My understanding of who I am, what I need, what I don't need, how that changes constantly, right? But then when you start adding in there friends, siblings, relationships, I'm also, while learning myself, I'm also learning how to interact with other people. And everybody is totally different. You got to give yourself grace to that. You're going to mess this up sometime. Sometimes you're going to be a little selfish, but it's the understanding. And I tell people all the time, I love the song Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. It's a deep song. When you have an understanding and you start asking yourself the questions of why did you accept this? Why did you do the things that you do? Why, like, what deeper about you? But then there's also understanding of the person that you interacted with. Why did they choose me? You're not going to be able to answer that question directly, like completely for that other person. But you got to understand that for each person you interact with, there's a different relationship with them. I have a different relationship with my mother than I do with my father. I have to interact with them differently. If you have children, you have a different relationship with each one of your children, regardless if you think that I love all my children the same.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. I thought they were gonna do an opening, but they didn't. So we're gonna do this, then we're gonna go. I was supposed to do a room on this earlier on Clubhouse, but unfortunately, something happened last night, and I needed to take care of that today, so I didn't have a chance to do the room. And I don't believe I will be doing that room. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. But right now, let's just bring it here because during these conversations, of course, unfortunately, granted, I don't travel around on YouTube like I used to. So I can't say I've been hearing this on YouTube. Clubhouse for sure, they still have this concept of the 50-50 thing. So obviously everybody's concept of 50-50 is for the most part bogus or misrepresented, depending on how you're looking at it. So I must say this about what true 50-50 is. And then I honestly don't want to hear this thing again because I will start pulling up panels and I'll be like, you're wrong, and here's why. So when it comes to 50-50, it's not exclusively about who's paying the bills. Let me say that again. It's not about, I look like a judge? I look like a judge, y'all? Hmm. I mean, thank you. That's high praise. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. But when it comes to this idea of 50-50, people think it's who pays half of it's just splitting your half of the bills. That's not what the true definition of 50-50 is. It's about responsibilities and everything in the house. Paying bills is included in that. That's not in its entirety. This house doesn't only this house is not solely predicated on who pays bill. That's a portion of the house. That's not the entirety of the house. You still need to eat. You still need to keep your stuff clean. And if you got kids in the house, there's some duties with regarding that too. Split it all down the middle. I got the bills. You take care of cleaning. I got the cookings. You take care of getting the kids ready for school. See how simple 50-50 is. That's all that is. Because you guys don't know, just paying 100% of the bills may not uh, equate to 50% of the household. Let me say that again. Paying 100% of the bills may not equate to 50% of the duties of the household. It could be a lot less. It could be a fraction of that, a fraction of the 50-50 concept in of itself. It's like, yeah, you pay all the bills, man or woman, who this is very gender neutral. You may pay 100% of the bills, but the duties of this household cost more than those bills, whether separately or collectively. It might cost more than those bills. Because you think you paid 100% of the bills, then that means you're absolved for anything that goes on in the house. That's not how that works. That's not true. Or if you believe that you should go 50-50 on the physical bills, yeah, that's a possibility. But if you also believe that she needs to pay 50% of bills and do 100% of the household chores and duties, no. If anything, she's probably doing, I'll throw this number out there, she's probably doing 85-15. She's probably doing 85% and you want to do it 15%. Now, some people say, what bills are 15%? I need you to pay attention to what I said because paying the bills may not equate to your portion of the 50, of the entire portion of the 50. It may not weigh that much. Now, some people say bills way more than duties of the house. You can't objectively say that. You can't even speak in absolutes regarding that. You can't. Because I would have to then expose the other dynamics that comes into taking care of a home, especially when children are involved, and how the ideas of paying the bills may not entirely equate to your portion of the 50. It may not be 100% of the 50 that you're putting in. That's what I'm saying. So when we're talking about the idea of what 50-50 really is, it goes deeper than some of these surface level conversations that is taking place. That's what I'm saying. So, because that's a perspective that has yet to be presented, I want you guys to think about that when you're having these conversations. Ask them what is 50-50 to them, and proceed to tell them objectively what 50-50 is. Nothing about what I said is subjective, because it can all be proven. It is a fact that paying a bill is not 100%. So, because that's the case, let's entertain this tomfoolery. You want to pay 100% of the bills, but there's no food in the house. The house is dirty, and your kids are living like rag muffins or looking like rag muffins. What you're saying is, even on the state of being self-sufficient and independent, you're really not, because you just did one portion of the duties that you're supposed to do while everything else fall through the cracks. That is a fact. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Right, crazy. Black judge wants the death penalty. If I'm the judge, I absolutely want the death penalty. I want the death penalty on some of these 50-50 conversations and the perspectives that's being presented, because this form of subjectivity opens up for a possible manipulation of the conversation, and ultimately, lack of a better word, brainwashing people into a system that doesn't exist, or a system that's not realistic. That's what that. So yeah, if I'm the judge, I do want a death penalty on some of these 50-50 conversations. You're absolutely right. And with that being stated, we're gonna go ahead and shut down. I'm gonna go ahead and catch some Z's real quick. I'll wake up when the moon comes out, and is we're just gonna get right to it. I have a lot of money to make in so little time, but let's not complain about it. Let's just go do it. Actually, one more thing before we go. I'm gonna say this. Um, Actually, let me get rid of this. We don't need this. And also, yeah, the QR code's right there. I believe that's my Cash App. Yeah, that QR code. Go ahead and scan it, and any form of donations we do. Um, as somebody who has religiously had life prove what can go wrong will go wrong, the best thing to do is, first of all, don't complain. Do not complain at all. Don't, because it's not going to make the situation any better. Bitching and complaining does not help your situation. That's a fact. Nah. Also, I don't know what type of drunk I will ever be. I never got drunk before a day in my life. Have I got tipsy before? Yeah, sure. But I was well aware of my move. Wait a minute. That's not true. That's not true neither. I almost told a lie. Let me recant that statement real quick. Yikes. Um, let's just say I drunk and it. I'm just gonna have to revisit that night one of these days, because Jesus. I'm just gonna say one of these days I'm gonna have to revisit that night, and I'll keep it to myself when I do. But I will say this: don't complain, because you're not gonna make the situation any better, like at all, at all. Now, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine last night, because based off of my belief system, the fact that I said that what can go wrong will go wrong. If you're a believer, how can you say that? Because here's the thing, and I hope she don't mind me saying this. Bolo's in the building. My brother, what's good, man? How you feeling? Um, when it comes to me saying what can go wrong will go wrong, that's the fact of life, that something's always going to happen. You're never going to walk around this life scot free, as if you are absolved from any type of daunting task, treacherous situations, or hardship. Life is going to come and then hit you in the face. It's almost similar to that Rocky quote from Rocky Balboa. Like, life is always going to knock you down. That's the example of what can go wrong will go wrong, because life is going to be there to do its job. Your job is not, it's not how hard you can punch. Your job is, can you get back up and continue to move forward, still getting punched. Getting back up, that's where my belief system comes into play, because there's something that is that I am tapping into that is making me get back up and move on with life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it out here. A couple of weeks ago, glory to God, my car did not get stolen. However, I was left on bricks. All four rims were stolen from my car. And I was on the phone with her when this happened. And I was like, oh look, or hey, what do you know? I was like, oh, someone stole the rims from my car, the tires from my car now. She was like, you lying. I took a picture and sent it to her. And I had to I during that time I was just kept it cool. I kept it chill. I was like, all right, let's go check that. Let's go look into insurance. Okay, that's a very high deductible, so we're not going to do that. Is there any warranty on this stuff? Obviously, there's no warranty on tires and rims. So cool. I just started going through the list of opportunities, and it's like at the very last minute, what's going to happen? And I was like, if this doesn't happen, then if this doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, I'm comfortable with whatever happens next. I'm at peace with what happens next, because obviously, when it comes to your job or other stuff, it's tied to your car, because you got to find a way to get to work. Even then, I found a way around that, because I was going to catch the bus to get to work if I have to. Barring the worst of the worst of the worst was the worst. And I swim in the waters of the worst and the worst and the worst and the worst things can happen. What can go wrong will go wrong. I was still at peace with, if this has to happen, he's doing it for a reason. When I talk about he, I'm talking about him. Anything, well, before I get to that lesson, if I did not complain at all. I was not complaining with this at all. All my optimism was decreasing by the denials. There's a tire shop across the street. I explained to him my situation, and he was looking out for me. What he did for me, he did not have to do at all. At all. I am thankful, glory to God, that I was able to find this person across the street because this person said, I understand what you're going through. Here's how much this costs. And I tell him, I can put 500 down right now and we can start paying the rest off weekly. I, yeah, I'm gonna pay it off weekly so I can go ahead and get this out the way and be done with it. Hopefully by the earlier. I'll put it like this. I'll be done with it a lot earlier than projected. So now I'm back driving. I'm back driving now. Why did I bring that up? A continuous reminder of what can go wrong will go wrong. What are you going to then tap into to get you out of that, to navigate that situation? Whether to get out of it or how to properly handle it. And in my walk of life, I used to complain. I wish my friend will be on here right now. I'm pretty sure she's asleep, but I wish she was on here and she could tell you the like my pessimistic way of thinking or my pessimistic vision of certain things to the point where it has clouded my judgment and I forgot all everything prior to that. I just and ultimately, because we'll get into this when we do Whisper Our Doubts, the series, especially where I highlighted the two verses from Deuteronomy, where God is saying, um, we've been through this before, and I gave you blueprints on how to handle this, right? So you just forgot about my teaching. I was like, oh, oops, my bad. And a reminder of God saying, I'm literally inside of you right now. So there's nowhere on this planet you're going, and I'm not there with you. So stop acting like you brand new and act like you've been doing this before. And I was like, well, you're right, you're right. Let me get back to it. And matter of fact, another example was last night pertaining to the tires. And what happened? Let's just say that certain benefits to my memberships that is available to me was not available to me, and all because all this happened overnight. Now, somebody's going to explain to me what's the benefits of me being using all these um, perks in the membership, but only not to use it after office hours. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me. So, with that, I was out on the road. I had nowhere to go. Dang, array of gents. Like, let me pop in here. Let me just turn this down. So, and dang, I want to say 1 second. Yep. What up, Lau? What up? Nothing much. Just chilling, man. What's good? Not much about to piss these women off. Another day on Clubhouse for you, my brother. That's a fact. I'm joking. Nah, Ron got a damn good title, and yeah, we about to run this. Yeah. Hold on, let me copy and paste. All right, I'm gonna mute up real quick. I'm gonna finish my YouTube thing real quick because I'm live right now, so I'm gonna finish down and I'm gonna join you for a quick bit. Gotcha. All right. So so yeah, last night pertaining to what happened, all my sources, everything, like all these things, literally started to run out. And I told my friend, my optimism has been depleted. And I just threw a LOL in there. But it's like, okay, I got to figure something out. I got to figure something out. It's like, calm down. Are black women undesirable in 2025? What is wrong with you? Yeah, disable the replays while you at it, my brother. Jesus Christ. Are black women undesirable in 2025? Good God, man. I don't know what you. Whoa. I'm going to let you handle that one. I'm going to let you handle that one. Woo. Your boy Law is crazy. But last night regarding the last night it was just another opportunity. uh maybe that was just a one-time thing. So Chris, how you gonna handle this? It was like side of the road. All right, what I'm gonna do, um and me personally, I'm a proud man. I'll openly admit that. Now that's something I do need to work on. I don't like asking for help. I don't. I'm gonna be totally honest, perfectly honest. I don't like asking for assistance. I'm used to people to come to me for assistance. But to actually go ask for help is not something. It's something I do. I want to. I'll say their names here. I want to thank my friend Danae for coming in the clutch. I love her to death for that, and she'll always have my back. And uh, let's see, Miss Wyatt. Thank you for last night. Um, and I told her, hey, whatever I owe you, I got you. She said I don't owe her a thing
I gotta be honest.
because when you're just yourself and you treat people with love and respect,
Side of the
well, shout out to Miss White. I'll say that. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, last night was a moment to actually erase enough to check off another thing about bosses, like being too using pride, prideful. Like, I had to check that last night. I had to check that quite a few times ever since the last 2 weeks. So I'm thankful for life. Of what can go wrong will go wrong. And I'm thankful for the moment where God has allowed me energy for me to tap into to either get out of a situation or learn how to navigate it. I just needed someone to get me home so I can get the lock for my wheels. I went ahead and did that thing. Uh Stepping over these roadblocks. Oh yeah, stepping over these roadblocks. And by me doing that, I was able to get home safely, take care of all the things I needed to do today. And this is gonna take care of the this is gonna set me up for the whole week for the most part. Like I said, not quite out the forest yet, but we'll definitely be next week Friday. And then we'll see what happens that following Friday. And then we'll see. Because like I said, this month of December is gonna be a make or break for me. Meaning if I fail this month of December, I may not be seen or heard from again. That's how serious it is. Some people think I'm exaggerating. I am not. I am not. This month is make or break. So the way I see it, again, what can go wrong will go wrong. Here's where God comes into play. He's allowing me, He has given me an opportunity to show the world this is what happens when you eternally trust in me. So that way, the external benefits will come into play. Because truth be told, I could have lost that car. And if that car would have been gone, cool. Granted, I'll be on the hook for $42,000. Wait a minute. How much is that car? No, it's not worth $42,000. Let me stop. Definitely not worth $42,000 with what I'm paying monthly. But I could have lost that car, and I'd have been on the hook for actually $26,000. So many things that could, like I said, this is a make or break. This is a make or break month. So many things could have gone wrong, and I'm going to be like, okay, if it's not meant for me to have, it's not meant for me to have. And this is where my friend has a point with what she's saying, because now I'm starting to see it. Now I'm starting to understand it. If it's not meant to be, if it's not meant for you to have, don't be going out your way trying to break your neck for something that it's not for you. Because the way I see it is, God is saying, I am trying to take this out of your life and you're trying to keep it. Why? That's what God is saying. That's what ultimately God is saying. I am trying to help you by taking all of um this weight that's on your shoulder. I'm literally trying to take it off, and your stupid ass is trying to leave it there. Why? I was like, you know what? You want to keep the 100 pounds, the 200 pounds on your weight? Let me double that. Here's 400. Keep in mind, you're only 311. You weigh 300 pounds, and you ain't been in the gym um frequently like you used to. So, what God is ultimately telling me, if I'm trying to take it out of your life, let me do my job. I am literally clearing the way for you. Stop being a headache and let me do my job. In other words, stop being a Karen. Sit over there, mind your business. I'll address you when I'm ready. And when it's time to go to work for you, when it's time for you to do your job, go do it. That's ultimately what God is telling me. And it took me 38 years to realize that. It took me 38 years because yesterday was my 38th birthday. It took me 38 years to realize God is working in my life. I'm just getting in his way. Just better late than never. Let my flaws be a lesson for y'all. That's a bar right there. Let my flaws be a lesson for y'all. And that is the 100th edition of Get It Off Your Chest. On your way out. You want more content like this? Like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on all socials. The links are located in the description. Participant waive all rights and properties. Shout out for Raw B for pulling up, doing a quick drive-by. I have zero problem with that because, ladies and gentlemen, Get It Off Your Chest was, if anything, are nothing but quick drive-bys in comparison to a long formatted content that I could do. Yesterday, we did 3 hours. This is a little bit over an hour and a half, if anything, 100 minutes. We're approaching 110 minutes. That's what this is. And we're still on the road to 1,000. Once we reach that goal, we are going to do the $100 Cash App giveaway. And I'm trying to see, we're at 968. So I want to thank the new subscribers that pulled up. I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I'm enjoying these new features on StreamYard. That QR code. Yeah, scan that QR code and let's start making some donations. Yeah, I like this stuff. This kind of play. This kind of play. And if like I said, the best thing, and I hate that I'm moving. I hate that I gotta move because of that situation. I think the writings on the honestly the writings on the walls. This is an example of God is moving things out of my way. The writings on the wall. Too many signs, too many people, especially God's people, are telling me to move. Right now, just one in particular and everybody else. They're saying you need to move. And when they're telling me something, they're ultimately saying something's going to happen. And when it does happen, you're still there. you have no one to blame but yourself. So I do like this place, I really do. And I was about to put that TV up, or at least put it on that wall over there, or even put it right here where this computer desk is at. But this was a nice spot. I enjoy it, but gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go. It's the right thing to do. But thank you guys for tuning in to the 100th edition of Get It Off Your Chest. You guys get to enjoy the 1 hour and 50-minute version of it. I promise you, I will be clipping this out, and we're gonna you just get the meat. Just gonna be just get you the meat and take out the bone. Pause. But let's go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Thank you for hearing me talk. I'm about to go get your nap. BTSI show, keep it 100, the 100th edition of Get It Off Your Chest. My name is Christopher J. See y'all down the road. Peace out.
It's a mess. Hey, don't even worry about it.